Welcome back, players. I'm Jack with 36 Cancel, and this is Coco the Weiss Cat. It's January 2020, which means the 2019 has come and gone, another year for Schwarz. So while we're sitting here breaking our New Year's resolutions, why don't we distract ourselves by talking about all the things that happened last year in the Weiss world? So I thought about what I wanted to do for this year's recap, and I thought I'd just do a top 5. But a top 5 of what? Well, top 5 and top 10 lists are basically cancer gone digital. So I thought to myself, why not become super cancer? Why don't I make a top 5 of the top 5 interesting things in 2019 for Schwarz? I mean, I'm trying to sound meta here, but I'm just going to cover 5 quick areas and do a top 5 countdown for each. This way, we can take a look at decks, releases, cards, tournament results, and even prices in one neat little video. So for the top 5 in Weiss, I'll be taking a look at these categories. First, the top 5 new sets that came out in 2019. Second, the top 5 new cards in 2019. Third, the top 5 overall cards in 2019. Fourth, the top 5 decks in 2019. And fifth, just for fun, let's take a quick look back at the top 5 Bushiroad moments of 2019. That's a lot to cover, so let's jump in. First up, the top 5 new sets of 2019. At number 5, I want to bring Gun Gale Online to the forefront. Gun Gale, for the small set that it was, introduced a lot of cool new stuff. The meta red and green deck has a very solid level 1 combo, a great set of early plays, and a basically free finisher with 2 possible burns. And both the blue and green decks you can build with it are interesting to play and have a lot of neat mechanics. It's got great equipment to handle a lot of the English meta, and it was pretty threatening in the Springfest circuit after it came out, so it was a notable release and it makes the top 5. For number 4, let's talk about Review Starlight. There is a lot to this set. It's got some of the most interesting new combos with a lot of interesting moving parts and a lot of finishing options. With only one set, you can build a lot of good and viable decks centered around idle pairings or just the classic good cards deck. What I really like about this set is just how many options you have. While it hasn't had a big showing in tournaments, I still think the set is super cool. And something else of note, it is now officially the most expensive deck to own as max rarity, if even possible. It introduced a coveted new product, real holographic print Weiss cards of the actual idols from Review Starlight, all signed and even numbered. Man, if someone has enough of these to make a deck with, you're a god, dude. Alright, number 3, and you would know I have to mention Heaven's Feel. I talked a lot about what the set does and brings to the table already, but to quickly recap, not only did it single-handedly give all the old Fate deck archetypes new toys to play with, it made possible completely new and competitive decks. The green level 3 combo with Ryder is probably one of the most annoying level 3s to fight in English right now, and even the idea of her has kind of switched up the meta. No matter what you decide to play with it, there are a lot of interesting choices, and I think this set is one of the shining examples of design, where flavor is on point, a good majority of the cards are interesting and playable, and it melds nicely with the older sets instead of just overshadowing them. So congrats to Bushi on that. Brass tacks, spot number 2 is ReZero Volume 2. ReZero 1 released in December of 2018, barely evading our list this year, but before Set 2, it was kind of a sleeper. Set 2, however, introduced the tools it needed to wake up and start placing. While not overshadowing the already good suite of tech level 3s and a pretty good level 1 combo, it added a great new lineup of level 0s and finishing options, as well as some other tech inclusions to really solidify the ReZero deck. It also introduced a really cool enemy faction deck, whose finisher actually ends up in some placing meta decks, just because right now it's a good anti-meta choice. After Set 2 was released, you saw a ton of placing ReZero decks, so you can't gloss over 2019's releases without mentioning it. Alright, the coveted number 1 on this list, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Man, what can I say? This set is just impressive and terrifying. The level 3s are pretty much all money, from the all-purpose compression-killing finishing Notica to the 3/2 3-soul double-burning Mai to one of the scariest cards, the great performance Pay 1, Pitch 1, Burn 1 Rio. And that's not to say the other levels aren't worth mentioning, because there are definitely a lot of powerful cards packed into this set. You want to talk about advantage engines at level 1? This set has them all. Free top checkers, reverse salvagers and searchers, self bouncers, and great non-combo level 1 tech to boot. And at level 0, the advantage generated by the set's pair of Notica runners and bouncers and top checking Mais is second to nearly none. It's really wild what a Rascal deck can do. This was a late release in 2019, hitting the stores only 2 months ago in November, so I can't wait to see what it does in 2020. Alright, so those were our top 5 sets in 2019. Let's narrow it down a bit and talk about the top 5 new cards the 2019 came out with. Number 5, Seemingly Happy Behavior Rem from ReZero 2. This little level 0 is base 2k, and on play, if you reveal a magic or weapon from the top of your deck, it gets plus 1500 and a level until the end of your turn. And when she reverses her opponent, you can choose another one of your weapon or magic characters, rest it, and move it to an open position of your backstage. I think they call cards with this profile clean cuts, and it's one of the best level 0 abilities out there, since it basically generates free attacks without worrying about losing cards. And of course, at any point in the game, if Rem finds a reverse, she's a free encore to any other character. She appears as a 4-of in basically every placing ReZero deck, which in 2019 there were a lot of, so it makes sense that she kicks off our list. Number 4. Star-Shaped Tambourine Kasumi Toyama from Bang Dream Girls Band Party Volume 2. Bang Dream has a ton of cards that have good text on them, and the fact that this new level 1 combo caught so much attention is interesting on its own. She has a climax combo with a gate that works like this. At the beginning of your encore step, you can perform these two abilities in any order. First, if all your opponent's characters on the center stage are reversed, or your opponent has no center stage characters, put up to one card from the top of your deck into your waiting room, and then reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 1 or higher character, put it into your hand. Then, choose a music character in your waiting room and put it into your hand. So this has the potential to be a free +2 per card. It's pretty nuts when you think about it, and it's on a gate, which is a great climax. Now, it takes a lot of stage prep to pull off, and it's matchup dependent, but it's definitely one of the most interesting new level 1 combos to come out in 2019, and I thought it deserved a shout out. Number 3. Monstrous Glance Rider from Fate's Day Night Heaven's Feel. She's a healer first and foremost, and when she attacks with a climax combo on a bar, you can pay 2 and pitch a card. If you do, Rider gets the following 2 abilities until the end of your opponent's next turn. First, the card in front of her gets minus 3k power, which means not only can she reverse just about everything, you can't even put a level 0 in front of her to chump swing. And second, the card facing her cannot front attack, so that means minus 3 soul and she won't die in battle anytime soon. She's tempo, plain and simple. Rider is definitely annoying to fight and represents a new kind of strategy for English. Sure, there were some minus 2 soul and minus 1 soul level 3s here and there, but none of them were really that viable. How about minus 3 soul and you basically can't kill her, and you can't just sack a level 0 into her? Yeah, she deserves a spot. Number 2. Cool and Collected Ryo Futaba from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. She's a base 8500 that gets plus 4k if she's in the center middle, and if you're level 3, she has great performance, and at all times, when she reverses any battle opponent, you can pay 1, pitch 1, and burn 1. While these 3 abilities are fairly innocuous on their own, it's like putting together a lot of rotten wood, some high-grade jet fuel, and a spark, because they combine to create an absolute inferno of a card. This Ryo is scary, without a doubt, and she's in a set where standby is the meta. Need I say more? Alright, number 1. Schooling High School Idol Nodoka Toyohama, also from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. I don't know what Bushiroad was smoking when they translated this card name, but it had to be different than what they were smoking when they designed the original card. She does it all. When she comes in, you draw a card and pitch a card, and then you can choose one of your opponent's characters and bounce it back to their hand, thus ruining some very popular endgame plans. And then with her climax combo, which is a gate, you can pay 1 and pitch 1 when she attacks. If you do, you can look at the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck, remove as many as you want, and then shuffle their deck. If Mocha from Bang Dream or Rem from ReZero has taught us anything, this can be one of the most devastating finishing abilities in the game, just because it directly attacks compression. Imagine using this ability twice and rooting out like 3 climaxes. That's insane. Have you ever just watched your opponent rip your hope directly out of your deck? Well, if you're sitting across from Nodoka, you will. This Swiss Army knife of a level 3 tops my list. Now, let's go a little broader. Just because there were a ton of new releases in 2019 doesn't mean the old sets just vanished. Let's talk about what cards made 2019 Weiss tick. This is the top 5 most influential cards of 2019 overall. Number 5. Accepting Feelings Mocha Alba from Bang Dream Girls Band Party Volume 1. This level 3 has really come into the forefront in 2019 with shifts in the English meta. Not only does she top check your opponent's deck for climaxes, but she also top checks your deck so you can order your triggers. And she heals at the beginning of your encore step, giving you an extra opportunity to heal any possible refresh damage away after your attacks are done. And all of these abilities are free and uninteractable, meaning there's basically nothing you can do to stop them. And in 2019, Mocha began to represent a lot of what we wanted in our finishing game. Number 4. Zekken Yuki from Sword Art Online. Yep, this card is still stupid and in just about every placing SAO deck, of which there are a lot of. It's just unlikely that we'll see a level 1 printed that could ever outclass an ability like this, and being this card is about 2 years old now, let's hope that Bushi has learned from their mistakes. Let's just move on. Number 3. Ambush Union from Konosuba 2. Widely accepted as one of the best free advantage cards in the game, Ambush Union is the foundation of the extremely powerful red and blue meta Konosuba deck. This card makes the list not only for its tournament showing, but the wide recognition from top players everywhere that, damn, this card is just stupid good. It makes Konosuba disgusting, plain and simple, and since Konosuba was one of the most powerful forces in 2019, she makes our list. Number 2. Happy Christmas Kasumi from Brain Dream Volume 1. This is the level 1 engine that salvages the Brainstorm event Something in the Warehouse. It gets free power, and the +1 is also 100% free. It's still one of the best level 1 combos in English, and Bang Dream is still a force to be reckoned with. While Kasumi isn't in every Bang Dream build, she's still so iconic that I saw a lot of posts on Facebook asking if people had her for sale, and when a playset of them went up on JKTCG once, they were basically gone in the next minute. She's also one of the oldest combos in Bang Dream, the set with 1,000 cards, and it's still hard to outshine her. She commands a hefty price to this day and appears in many placing deck lists. And the number 1 card that defined 2019? My Fate to Bear Eren from Attack on Titan Volume 2. In every Titan deck, in every tournament, on every team, and on every table, the single dumbest level 1 combo in English. He's still here, he's still broken, and I'm done talking about him. And that brings us to the next section of this video. While it might seem obvious based on the card choices, let's, just for fun, go over the most influential decks of 2019. Number 5. Sword Art Online. Now, SAO has been around forever, but in 2019, the decks we saw placing had a totally new look. The placing decks were weird hybrids of the old strats, smashing together Last Shots, Zekens, Lifas, Yunas, Yukis, Yuis, Silicas, Standby, and even level 3 Asanas and Shield of the Overseers. The idea this year was, hey, SAO has like 3 good deck styles, so why don't we just put them all together? And, well, it worked. You saw it, and you saw it a lot. Number 4. Konosuba. Now, while Konosuba didn't have a huge regionals top placing showing, it was a massive part of the field and one of the most talked about decks. The new red-blue Konosuba with early play Aquas, Bunny Unions, and Ambush Unions was an absolute monster. Everyone and their mother was after these cards, causing Bunny Girl Union to command a price of $40 for a while, and the classic Megumin to even rise to $50 on some vendor sites. I think what a lot of people underestimated though was how difficult the deck was to pilot. As someone who tried it for myself, I'll say that the deck is disturbingly good, but it takes a lot of skill to master. It's not a free lunch by any means, and judging by the amount of people who were trying to sell the deck by the end of the year, I think a lot of people came to agree with me. Number 3, ReZero. With the release of Set 2, ReZero absolutely catapulted into a spot among the top class decks, and while the level 1 and level 0 mostly stayed the same, the finishing package was always seemingly up in the air. Almost every placing ReZero deck had a totally different finishing lineup, including one that was straight up using Petalgeist. What people underestimate about this deck is just how consistent it is, and how good it is at finishing its opponent from seemingly out of nowhere. It doesn't have huge blowout burns or wild healing abilities, but each time you'll see yourself basically losing to every possible finisher out there, from Ram to even Felt and Petalgeist. I was very pleasantly surprised to see this set come to the forefront this year, and I hope to see more of it, because right now it's really helping to diversify the field. Number 2. Bang Dream. Yeah, Bang Dream in all its forms continues to be a dominating force. Whether it's the Zeit or Christmas combo, the bird cages, or the mochas, Bang Dream is something we've all come to accept as the poster child of the tournament scene. And this isn't only because of all the ridiculously good staple cards across the sets, but just how many meta decks you can make from it. One of the scariest parts about Bang Dream is that you're not really sure what you're facing each time, and the possibilities are never good. For that reason, it topped consistently in 2019, and it's number 2 on our list. Number 1. I have nothing to say at this point. How many times do I have to talk about how influential this deck is? Well, too many for this video. You know what this is, you know why it's here, and yeah, at this point I have nothing new to say about it. Alright, so the running joke is that Bushi gonna Bushi. So to close out the year, let's look back on some classic Bushi moments of 2019. Number 5. June 2019. Bushiroad releases the English exclusive that nobody asked for, Batman Ninja. Much to the confusion of everyone, instead of releasing one of the hot titles of 2019, doing a simul release with one of the other popular sets, or literally anything else, Bushiroad chose Batman Ninja. It's still a mystery to me why this ended up being a thing, but Bushi gonna Bushi. Number 4. July 2019. Bushi makes the first use of the English restricted list to fix a critical mistake in Batman Ninja. There's a level 0 Grodd in the main set that can bounce back to your hand if it's attacked to change into a level 1 Batman Infiltration. Well, the demo deck for Batman Ninja has a level 3 character that's also called Batman Infiltration, with the exact same name and even the same art. So they kind of had to fix that this level 0 switched into a level 3. I don't know how they fucked this up this bad, but Bushi gonna Bushi. Number 3. February 2019, Bushiroad announces major art changes for the set No Game No Life for Western markets, thus delaying its release. I don't know if this is more a case of Japan gonna Japan or Bushi gonna Bushi, but when they said they were going to release No Game No Life in English, when people saw some of the card art, they lost their shit. And it's hard to blame them. No Game No Life had some pretty damn questionable cards that basically had nude little girls sans private parts printed on them. Yeah, they were pretty much all changed, including the ones of Stephanie Dola. Oh well, Bushi gonna Bushi. Number 2. November 2019, Bushi releases Radical Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai with a major packing error. The Trial Deck SP is now inside regular booster packs, and the SP Runner from the regular booster packs is now inside Trial Decks. They even offered trade-ins for a short while. Damn, I should have invested in the Trial Deck SP since the Runner was so much more expensive at the time. But Bushi gonna Bushi. Number 1. Misprints. In 2019, Bushi updated their errata page with 40 new entries of misprinted cards, and a lot of these were basic things like spelling errors, missing particles, or just getting a character's name wrong. And that's not even counting some of the misprints in Heaven's Feel from December 2019, which are all still pending errata, like Brilliant Smile Sakura. On one of them, they even printed a Bang Dream SSP level 1 as a level 0, and they made an announcement about it on their page saying, yeah, we know it's bad, we'll do better. I'll believe that when I see it. But for now, I'll keep the mantra, Bushi gonna Bushi. Okay players, that was our 2019 wrap-up for Weiss. I hope this covered a lot of interesting moments, cards, decks, and sets from the last year. Think I missed something? Let me know down in the comments. I always welcome feedback. And speaking of that, I've heard some recent feedback you've given me in the comments, and I want to make a New Year's resolution. Last year, I really wanted to try to get more footage of actual Weiss games up on the channel, and while I've been more successful with that in recent months, my gameplay in some of these videos is lacking. I'm using some cards wrong and not thinking through a lot of plays like I should be. In 2020, I'm making a New Year's resolution to really improve the quality of gameplay I post on the channel. There's nothing more infuriating than watching a player make 3 illegal moves and then win the game because neither them or their opponent caught it. So this year, my resolution is to not be that guy, not only to help me become a better player, but to deliver more interesting and better gameplay to you players at home. So look forward to more and better games on the channel this year. But the new year is in full swing already, and there are a lot more videos to make. So happy 2020 players. I hope this decade is a great one for you and for Weiss. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.